guys, so we are driving. We're actually going on like a little family weekend, and I look terrible. That's why I have sunglasses on, because I have no makeup on. But real life in the car, the three of us, and I actually found this thing on Facebook, and it said rules for my son. And so I opened it, and I was like, I gotta ask Anthony about these. So I wanted to ask him about these and see what he thought, if he thought they were really good rules to live by or what they were. So we'll see what he says, because this is from just a random guy that it went viral, and I don't know. And I'm not a man, so we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see what you got.
Never shake a man's hand sitting down. Is that true?
Yeah, I can see that. It's more respectful to stand up and shake somebody's hand than it is to sit down.
Next one is, there are plenty of ways to enter a pool. The stairs are not one of them.
True.
Oh my goodness.
100% true.
Yes. Always jump in.
Yep, that's right.
Oh my gosh. Alright, number 3 says, the man at the grill is the closest thing we have to a king.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
100% true.
Yep.
Oh.
Who is this guy? I like this guy.
In a negotiation, never make the first offer.
True.
You heard that, Ryan?
Because you can always...
Counter.
Well, if you make the first offer, you're making an offer that's... If it's too low, it's insulting. But if it's too high, they can just say, okay, and
Done with you?
whatever, and like sell it to you. And then you could still overpay for whatever that you're negotiating for.
So never make the first offer. Act like you've been there before, especially in the end zone.
That's true.
Oh my.
If you're confident, if you look confident, then people will think that you're confident. If you look and sound confident, they will think that you're
That
confident.
has served me well in life, actually. So, request the late checkout.
Request the late checkout. Yeah. Always.
Is that wink wink or what?
No, that's so you can sleep in.
Oh my gosh. Alright. When entrusted with a secret, keep it.
100% true. Doesn't matter who it's from. They ask you, don't tell. Don't tell. Take it to your grave.
Return a borrowed car with a full tank of gas.
100% true. Because then it shows respect to whoever you're borrowing it, that you appreciate it too.
I would never think of that. I would return it with what I got it with.
No.
No. Alright. Don't fill up on bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then your meal comes and it's amazing and you can't eat it.
Yeah.
But has that ever happened to you, not being able to eat a meal?
Yeah, a couple times.
What?
Not very often. A couple times. Once or twice. But yeah, and it's all really, I guess it kind of depends for me, like where you're at. Like if you're at a restaurant, it's not really like a big deal. But like if you're at like a barbecue or at somebody's house and you're just filling up on like the little finger foods and snacks that they have, and then they prepare a meal for you and you only eat half of it because you filled up on, you know, whatever else they have, it's disrespectful. It looks disrespectful. They might not really care, but it looks disrespectful because then you didn't eat the food that they prepared for you.
True. Alright, the next one says, I don't think women have this problem. It's interesting. When shaking hands, grip firmly and look him in the eye.
Yep. It's a sign of...
You know that?
It's not really a sign, but it's a showing of respect for the other one, for the person that you're shaking hands with. But at the same time, it's a show of dominance too. That
Dominance.
you're not gonna back down. So
Is don't let a wishbone grow where a backbone should be.
yeah, I agree with that.
What does that mean?
It's
Don't let a wishbone grow where a
don't
backbone
let somebody, like, you need to stand up for what you believe in. So if you feel that something is not right, you need to have a backbone and say something instead of having a wishbone and not saying anything at all.
I kind of like that. If you need music on the beach, you're missing the point.
100% true. If you have to listen to music to enjoy the beach, then you shouldn't be there at all. Like,
You know what I think about the beach? I feel like it's God talking to you.
Like
Does that
it's-
make sense? Like,
it's so calming to be at the beach.
well, I think it's kind of loud, but I have like
Oh,
noise
no.
issues.
Like just like the
But-
crash of the waves, and like even though seagulls are super annoying, but you know they're seagulling in the back.
Seagulling.
You know, it's just calming, like the sand in your toes.
Okay, I can see why that would be a good one. Next one says, carry 2 handkerchiefs. The one in your back pocket is for you. The one in your breast pocket is for her.
I've never carried a handkerchief in my life, but I can see where that's like, yeah, I would agree.
Like you wouldn't take out, I could see like, yeah. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Like my grandpa, he carries a handkerchief in his
Does
back
he?
pocket. Yeah.
In his back pocket?
He never leaves the house without a handkerchief in his back pocket.
Huh. Wow, interesting. But he wouldn't you wouldn't offer that to somebody.
No, because it's like up against your
Yeah.
butt, and, you know, and plus like you're using it to like wipe your nose or whatever, so you wouldn't offer it to somebody else. But to have a
So I
clean,
can see a clean one.
yeah, a clean fresh one to offer somebody.
That makes sense. Oh, this is a good one. What? Don't laugh. It's a good one, guys. You marry the girl, you marry the whole family.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, 100%. And if somebody would have told me that,
Or me.
not that it would have changed my mind or anything, but like if somebody just would have said, you know, you're gonna marry the entire family, the person that you marry the whole family. I would have gotten to know your family.
Yeah, because I had met his parents before we got married, and he met my mom like a day or 2 before we got married.
Yeah.
And then he met my dad, like, we had been married for like 2 months or something when he met my dad.
Yeah. Nobody like really thinks about that, but I 100%, like knowing now what I know, like 100% get to know the family before you marry whoever you're gonna marry.
You should forge relationships with the entire family
Yeah,
instead of just
with the spouse.
the spouse. I think that would have served me better. And I think to a point I really did try, but there were so many variables that didn't work in my favor at this point in my life, but it would have been good advice.
Yeah, to know that
To know.
before we got married. Like I think, like knowing what I know now, I think that
Oh, sorry guys,
the
it's
family should be the deciding factor on whether or not you should marry the person that you're gonna marry. Because if you can't get along with the family, it's just gonna make your marriage even harder.
for sure. Okay, this one's really good, guys. Anthony, I think will like this one. Be like a duck. Remain calm on the surface and paddle like crazy underneath.
100% agree.
Abso-freaking-lutely.
100% agree.
That is
Because-
Anthony to a T.
Because if you stress out while your spouse or whoever is ranting or venting to you, if you stress out or make a big deal out of whatever the situation is while they're doing it, it's going to increase them stressing out by
Your
1,000%.
kids or- Yeah.
So somebody needs to be the level and calm-headed person in a relationship or during an event or whatever. Somebody needs to keep their cool to de-escalate the situation and find a solution.
And women are just more emotional, I think.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that is saying that it's like a man's responsibility to do that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because women are just a little bit more emotional and can make men see a different perspective because we're a little bit more emotional. But you being calm really does make a situation situation, it like calms me down to where we can. But that's him all the time. Like he's stressed out about things, and I'll be like, "What's wrong?
yeah,
What's
like,
wrong?"
Inside, I'm going crazy, like
Yeah.
screaming, yelling, like don't know what I'm gonna do. But on the outside, I'm just like, okay, we're gonna be okay. We'll figure something out.
Everything's
No big
fine.
deal.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. And not to say that you should do it all the time, because it's definitely not healthy to do it all the time. Like you should definitely have your venting as a man every so often.
For sure, for sure.
But for the most part, you need to keep a cool and collected outlook.
That's your role in the
Just to help
relationship.
out your wife or your spouse or whoever.
Alright guys, that's it for our first part of this video. Stay tuned for part 2, where we have a couple more rules for my son, and they're actually really good, and you're going to want to come back and hear them because they're some really good ones.